Hello and welcome to Sports Talk 101. I'm your host, Sammy Savona, and today I am joined here by my guest, Ed Royds, a senior running back football player from Monmouth University. Ed, how you doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah, so I want to kind of talk about just a little background information. A lot of people might not know this, but you started playing Navy. You came to Monmouth University before the 2014 season. What was kind of part of the decision making of playing football at Monmouth?
Well, I mean, as you said, I transferred in from the Naval Academy. I actually was looked at for Monmouth right before coming out of high school. So I kind of had an idea of the school, where it was at, the kind of the players and the coaches. But once I left Navy, it was kind of no decision there. I kind of really wanted to come here. It's close to home, about an hour and 15 minutes away, and it's right on the beach, so can't beat that.
Awesome. Are you happy in your decision so far?
Yeah, definitely happy.
Good, good. So you also seem to have accomplished a lot already. You were a captain in the 2015 season.
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
It was great. I mean, especially coming from a different school, transferring in, and for the players to actually name me captain really was nice. It was good welcoming.
That's great. That's great. How do you feel that you were a captain to your other teammates?
I think I did really well. I mean, a lot of times captains can kind of get a little bit more of a overpowering or some type of bearing on them. But when I came in, I mean, I kind of let the players do what they had to do and be there for them if they needed me. So it really worked out really well.
Good. Now, what's the process of becoming a captain? Do you just get voted in, or is there some sort of step-by-step process that you have to complete?
Well, here they do actually do a step-by-step. It's a lot more complicated than I actually thought it was going to be when I first went into the process. First, had to talk to Coach Cal personally, and then you had to write a letter, or more like a reasoning why you think you should be captain. Then after that, you have to meet with every single coach, and of course, every coach has like 12 questions they want to ask you.
Oh.
And then after that, if you go through all that, then you actually get voted in by your players. So a lot of times, this year we actually didn't vote till almost the season started, but we actually took a leadership course during the summertime, which actually I think really helped all the players and everybody who actually wanted to be captain. We had about 10 to 12 players who wanted to become captain, so it's a lot longer process than I thought, but it was worth it.
Right. Well, that's great. That's great to hear that it was worth it and all that effort.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like almost you did like a job application, right? In a sense, you had an interview, you had a written. That's great. And is this something that you are going to reapply for in the next season?
Yes, definitely is. I really enjoyed doing it last year. I hope the players choose me again this year, because every year you can pick different people, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and since you have the background and experience, you could just improve from there.
Yeah,
it's great.
Great.
Yeah, do you have any rituals that you do with your teammates? Any kind of weird things before a game that you get yourself pumped up and ready for it?
Personally, no, I don't. I do know a lot of players like to yell and scream and stuff. I'm actually one who kind of sits in the locker room and kind of keeps to myself, which is pretty nice. I kind of like doing like the calm before the storm type, where I'll keep everything in, and then once I get on the field, then I'll get a little loud out there.
So you like to stay focused.
Of course.
Kind of just stay in your own zone, and then when you're on the field, you're probably a completely different person, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Cool, cool. Now, moving along, National Signing Day was yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah, so what do you think about the incoming recruits? I think there was about 17 that they recruited.
Yeah, about 17 players that came in. Actually, 6 of them, I believe, were linemen, and they could be really helpful to us because we did lose a couple players. There actually is also one kid from my high school, which is pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
He coming in as a QB. I mean, his dad was my coach when I was in high school, so it's pretty nice. I haven't talked to him yet, but once I get a chance to, I'm going to reach out to him and see how he's doing, and kind of glad he came here. I have another person from my hometown.
It's like the captain in you, right? Kind of reaching out, and that's kind of brings me being a previous captain, being a captain that's going to reapply for the position, what do you feel your role is to the incoming recruiting class?
Well, I don't think it's any different than any other player, to be honest. A lot of times I like to see as the upperclassmen in general, just to take a lot of the incoming freshmen under their wing, and especially with the group we have now. I mean, even from last year, we have a really good group of kids where it doesn't matter if you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, we all kind of co-adhere together, and we all kind of like look after each other. So, I mean, as a captain, I mean, I wouldn't do anything different than if I wasn't a captain or just a normal player.
Right. Right, that's great to hear. That's great to hear. Now you said that there was 6 O linemen that just got recruited yesterday. I guess what do you feel is Monmouth's biggest needs? It seems that it is offensive linemen since they did recruit so many, but what, in your opinion, do you think, what sort of players do we need to be the best team we can?
Well, I mean, it's great to be a lineman. You always need more and more players, but honestly, I think not so much player-wise, but as in characteristic-wise, a lot of our players, I think we just need a little bit more discipline. A lot of times we came to a lot of close games last year where I think maybe that little extra discipline or keeping our mind focused would have helped us out a little bit more, and we probably would have turned out a little bit differently. So I think actually a lot of the things that we need on the team is a little bit more discipline, a little bit more heart, and I think we'll be really good this year.
Awesome. So kind of going off discipline, what do you feel? What kind of tactics and methods of discipline do you think maybe making more early runs? Kind of what do you think would be the best suggestion to solve that problem, if it is?
Yeah, it's hard to say because every person like reacts differently. Like one person you can yell at and they'll come back from it real fine. Like that's just the way they were brought up. Other kids you kind of have to take by the shoulder and talk to. So I think each person individually you have to see probably by your coach. The way your coach reacts to them. I know my coach actually is more of a grab you by the shoulder and kind of just tell you what you did wrong and pat you on the back and you go on out and do it again. And he might yell a little bit, but he'll come over and grab you on the shoulder and be like, all right, we'll get it next play. So I think it's varied per player. I think we actually should, a lot of the other players should try to see how people react to different things so that way we can get a better grasp on things. So go from there and I think we'll be okay.
Awesome. Now you guys right now currently are training for the winter program.
Yes.
How is that going so far?
I think it's great. I mean, compared to last year, it's a lot less just physical exertion. It's more of a technical type based strength program where we're learning to basically get more reads down, better footwork, and different things that will help us on the field compared to last year where it just seemed like we were kind of running around just to run.
Right. Is that the biggest focus? What do you think, in your opinion, is the biggest focus during this
biggest focus during this training program, I believe, is trying to get us more technically sound. A lot of times there's different things like linemen, they have their foot positioning and different steps they take for specific plays. So I think a lot of this is going to be about technique and trying to get each player to do their technique the best.
Right. And you guys just hired a new strength and conditioning coach, Cornell Keith.
Yes.
Cornell Keith. Let me make sure I say that correctly. How do you think his training methods are?
I think they're great.
Yeah. And kind of what maybe if you could describe some of them for us.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times he actually has trained a lot of people who've gone into the NFL and has prospects and stuff like that, trained Neil, and he has a really good idea of what they're looking for. So a lot of his techniques are those band trainings and different ways you can move your footwork, and it gets to that technical feel because if you don't set the base level of that technique, then you can't really grow from there. So by us doing what he's teaching all of them, he's actually helping us in the long run have better first steps, quicker speed off the ball, and being able to read and stuff like that. So his workout program and conditioning program has been phenomenal so far.
That's great. Kind of like you said, he's worked with a lot of players that probably will help out. A lot of your former teammates are training for Pro Day, which is kind of where they get to showcase their abilities to NFL scouts. Now, I know you're still training for your upcoming season, but is this something that you would consider, training for after the season?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, after the season, as long as everything's together and healthy, I don't see why not. I mean, I think it would be a great opportunity, and I mean, it can only seed to great things, so we'll see where it goes.
I mean, why not, right? And let's just say you exceeded all your goals and they were so impressed with you. What team would you want to play for and why?
I mean, I always have to pick the hometown team. I'm the Eagles fan.
Yeah.
So I would love to do Eagles, but I mean, honestly, just any opportunity at any professional level would be fantastic. So as much as you say, I would love to be at this team or that team, whatever team came along would be fantastic.
Right. I mean, and then kind of once you're in, you kind of can maybe move around a little bit and then eventually achieve the dream.
Exactly.
Great.
We'll see.
Well, I wish you the best. I wish you the best for the upcoming season. You guys seem like you're on a great track with the winter program.
Yeah, we really are.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck with the incoming recruiting class.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Ed, thank you so much for being here, man.
Thank you very much.
All right, unfortunately, we're out of time for today. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm your host, Sammy Savona. Tune in next time for another edition of Sports Talk 101. Thanks again.